You are going to die. That's just a fact of life. Okay, it's true for you, it's true for me, and it's true for everybody else. No matter how rich and powerful you are, death is the great equalizer. But have you ever paused to think about what this universal truth actually means for how we should live while we're alive? Well, in today's video, we're going to be exploring that concept through the ancient philosophy of Taoism, which comes from China. So stick around and let's see how we can use death as a motivator to live properly. G'day guys, and welcome to today's video. Now today's video is inspired by verse 51 of the Tao Te Ching, which is like the Bible for Taoism, which is an ancient Chinese philosophy. What I would like you to do for a moment though, is just think about the fact that when we are born, when we take our first breath into our body, at that moment, we essentially sign an agreement with life itself that it will come to an end, that we will have to give this body back at some stage in the future. For some of us, it may be shorter. For the lucky of us, it may be a bit longer. But the fact is, we have to return this physical body at some point. But there's so much more to this cycle of life and death than our physical body. There's a deeper essence. There's a spirit that continues, and this can live on throughout history, and we're going to explore how that can be. In fact, Lao Tzu, the author of the Tao Te Ching, is a perfect example of this fact. So this is a man who lived in China about 2,500 years ago. So it's been a long time since he gave his body back to the earth, his physical body at least, but yet his teaching, his spirit, his essence still lives on through his teachings, and his teachings still shape and form our lives and our understanding of life up until this day. So in this video, we're going to be exploring this concept, okay, that's allowed Lao Tzu to live on for 2,500 years, and how by embracing our mortality and understanding our physical death can allow us to live more fearlessly and ensure that our essence and our spirits continues to live on after our physical body has returned back to the earth. Let's start by exploring our attachment to the physical world. So most people identify themselves through their physical existence. So this is things like our body, our physical appearance, our material possessions, and our earthly status. However, Lao Tzu, in his profound wisdom, he observed this intriguing thing about human behavior or human psychology. So out of 10 people, Lao Tzu noted that 3 of them are what he called followers of life, 3 of them are what he called followers of death, and 3 of them are simply transitioning from life to death. So that's 9 out of 10, which leaves one unique individual who we'll talk about in a little bit. These 9 people, according to Lao Tzu, they clutch to life and they cling to the passing world. So essentially, they are fully entangled in the physical realm. So here they fear loss, they fear change, they fear harm coming to their physical selves. But it's these fears that limit their experiences because they're confined by their boundaries of comfort and their boundaries of safety. This now brings us to the idea or concept about living beyond the physical, the idea of achieving some kind of immortality. And no, this is not the same immortality that you would wish for if you were able to get all 7 Dragon Balls and just live forever. It's about transcending the physical limitations so that your spirit, your essence of who you are, continues to live on in the world long after your physical departure has come. Think about figures like Jesus Christ, Socrates, or Giordano Bruno. Now these individuals didn't just live, they lived with purpose. They had a profound understanding of something greater than their physical selves. They embodied ideas, values, and beliefs that transcended their physical bodies, their physical existence. And because of this, they are still remembered and they're still influencing and guiding us centuries and even millennia later. Their spirits and their teachings continue to live on. And in the eyes of Lao Tzu, they are the 1 in 10 person who lives life according to their own truth, unafraid of what happens to their physical body or their physical form. So why is it that so few of us are like the Jesus Christ, Socrates, or Giordano Bruno? And I believe it's the fear of death. So now let's look into death a little bit more. So what really happens when we die? Now, no one has the actual answer for this, okay? But the way I see it is there's two options. So option number one is that our awareness, our consciousness just ceases to be. So a lot of people fear that when they die, it's just going to go black. Okay, but the thing is, you have to be aware that your life has come to an end. But in this option, the awareness just goes away. There's nothing to be aware of. It's like trying to explain what your life was like before you were born. You have no concept, there's no awareness. So if this is the case, there's truly nothing to fear because you won't even know you're dead. You won't even know that you were alive. There's just literally no existence. There's no awareness. You're just not there anymore. You can't miss anything. You can't lose anything. There can be nothing absent because there's nothing that's aware of anything. And then the other option is that death is kind of like a transition. It's like a metamorphosis into some other form of being or some other form of living, whether we go on to heaven or paradise or whether we get reincarnated into another being or another body or something like that. But regardless of which scenario you're looking at, there should be no fear because either you're not going to be around or aware to know that life has come to an end, or life just goes on in a different form. But the thing is, it's completely out of our control. And we know that it's inevitable that we're eventually going to die. So what we should do instead is focus on making the times that we are alive in this human form, that we are aware of what's happening, the best, the beautiful, and the most extraordinary that it can be. Now, when we really internalize this idea, it can be so liberating because we learn that there is nothing to fear. That death is going to come and whatever happens after that is what's going to happen. But we should focus on making our lives incredible right now. This realization can be incredibly freeing. Now, this brings us to the crux of today's discussion, and that is embracing life fearlessly. So when we accept the inevitability of death and the limits of our physical existence, this opens us up to truly, truly live an extraordinary, fearless life. We can step beyond our comfort zones. We can start to take more risks. We can love deeply and we can express ourselves authentically. We start to live our lives as that 1 in 10 from Lao Tzu's observation. The person who lives from their core being, who lives a life true to their higher self, even if that goes against preserving their physical body and their physical existence. By dwelling in a place where death cannot enter, as Lao Tzu puts it, we find an inner sanctuary of peace and fearlessness. This is where figures like Jesus, Socrates, and Bruno resided in spirit. In this space, we are free of our mortal fear, and we're free to experience life in its fullest and richest form. It's here that we discover our true essence, our limitless potential. So now I invite you to ponder this. How can you start living more like the 1 in 10 as opposed to the 9 in 10 from Lao Tzu's observation? How can you start to embrace this life of fearless living, fully aware of your own mortality, but being unbound by it? This, I believe, is one of our greatest missions in life, to realize and inhabit this state of fearless living. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. So just remember how we discussed that our physical existence is only part of our journey. And if we really want to live fearlessly, we have to live authentically. We have to live to our truth, to our purpose. Okay? Remember that your physical body is going to die and be returned back to the earth. But it's what you do with your time on earth, your teachings, your spirit, your love. This is what will leave a lasting impression long after your physical body has gone. And as we conclude today, guys, I just want to encourage you to apply this wisdom to your own life. So think about areas in your life where you can express yourself more authentically, where you can love deeper, where you can take those risks. Okay? Remind yourself that your time is limited, your physical body is going to die, but don't be bound by that. Live fearlessly and create the life of your dreams. Or, in the words of Lao Tzu, dwell in that place where death cannot enter. Now, this is not just a beautiful poetic sentiment, but it's a call to action. A call to live in a way that your essence, your spirit, continues to resonate and influence long after your physical presence has faded. Alright guys, and that's going to do it. So thank you so much for sticking with me all the way to the end. If you found this video useful, please feel free to share it with anyone else who you think might benefit from it. Don't forget to like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. I post a new video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And lastly, if there's anything you want to share, any questions, any observations, or just anything you like, please leave a comment below. You never know who your thoughts and your experiences are going to help on their journey of life. And until next time, guys, I'll leave you as I always do and encourage you to make your life extraordinary. And until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and I'll see you next time.